Okay, good day everyone. This is Dash Shato, the most handsome, yakable Africanicious, adrenaline pumping a busy pound husband. And I have beside me my most beautiful, sugaricious honey pop.
Yes, good day, everyone. You're welcome to the live stream today. It's a great honor to have you around, and we're having an interesting topic today.
The topic we're looking at today is something that has to do with everyday living. There is nobody on this earth, there is nobody on this planet that is not going to have something to do with what? Currency, spending, economics. There is no life without economic expression. There is no life without the basic needs of life to succeed or to exist. And as such, there must be transaction between point A and point B. But what we see is that there is huge dichotomy between locations with respect to the available currency that is usually used as means of exchange. And that is why today we are looking at something that is very critical, of which you continue to hear in this part of the world, the African part of the world, as compared to the Western part. You continue to hear one word almost all the time: devaluation of currency. So, if you are if you are a student of economics or you are in this world with an open-minded lifestyle, you will begin to ask yourself this question: what is this war of currency in between the West, the African region, or any other region of the world?
Continent of the world, yes.
Now, we have Lisa G here.
Lisa G.
Hello, beautiful family. Hello, Lisa.
You're welcome.
So nice to have you on board. And that is why we are looking at this particular currency of the world that is like, in Africa, we call it the gidigbatious currency, meaning that it is always standing firm while other currency seems to be like always falling for the gunshot.
Yes.
Let me just help the question. Why is the American dollar always very, very powerfully or always very, very powerful, while other African countries or other countries' currency seems to be what? Fidgeting when it comes to the when it comes to the American dollar. Okay, we have someone here before I continue. Oh, Temi.
You're welcome.
Okay, nice to have you, Temi. I love your cornrow style. Whoa. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so very much, Timmy.
Okay, so with that being said, we begin to ask ourselves this question: are we not, don't you think we are fighting some kind of currency war in this part of the world, with the American dollars, with the what's it called, with the British pounds, with the euro? But we all know that in Africa, something is going on, because majority of the people that are living in the continent of Africa, within the continent of Africa, they've discovered that the currency of our country, the currency of the countries within the continent of Africa, seems to always be what? Nosediving. And as such, they've taken over some kind of attitude.
Jim has started.
they've taken up some kind of attitude, which is what? Most of the corrupt people within the continent of Africa, they are stockpiling the American dollars.
And they feel that's the safest form of currency. Like, that's how they can just keep the value of whatever money they are siphoning, and they can still get real value, as in the real money for their value, the real value for their money. But it's like there's a speculation, something is happening. We don't know how true that is.
Before you go to your speculation, let me just drop a link for people to join us live. You kindly join us via this link, as we go into today's discussion, because we need to look at this critically, because this war, let me tell you, is a war of currency already. There's a war of currency between the Western world, and this part of the world. But something is now happening that is not aligning with my little knowledge of economics. They say that supply creates is what?
It's demand.
It's demand. And whenever there is excess supply, something should come in. Price should what? Should
Should
nosedive.
yes, price will
Price should
fall.
should fall. Okay, we have Dr. Ojo here.
Good evening, sir.
Good, good
Yes,
evening.
sir.
How you
So,
guys doing?
fine,
Fine,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
So, what am I trying to say? There is this discovery that majority of the people that are having access to these American dollars are majorly the politicians
In Africa,
in Africa.
they want to use it for their
And
political
that
agenda.
and that to me is a challenge, because if at all there is need for what international currency exchange, the there is only a set of people that should have more demand for such currency to facilitate business
Yes,
expansion.
that's
And those are the people in the what? The manufacturing, the
sectors,
business, the
yes.
services, and the likes.
They are not having it.
But they are not the one having it.
Great challenge.
Now, don't let us take the whole of Africa. Let us use Nigeria. After all, Nigeria has been dubbed the giant of Africa. And that is why whenever you look at sports, we are giants there. Whenever you look at market size, we are giant there. Also, don't be surprised, because even in corruption, our giant nature has been speaking until now that things are going to change, because I can tell you things are definitely going to change. But before that change comes, you discover that in the homes of some terrible politicians, they have been discovering large stockpile of dollars, foreign currencies stacked in septic tanks in numerous places. This money are not useful to nobody. But my question to the United States is, if there is an inflow of your currency, your dollar, in large amount into Nigeria, which is just one country
in Africa,
out of how many countries in Africa, and this money is no longer in circulation, I want to tell you that that means that you guys are going to be printing more of your currency, which to me is beginning to look like more of printing of papers. So why is your dollar still very
strong.
very strong?
And naira is falling like
pure water.
Naira it's almost 1,000 naira to a dollar, and it's about 900 and something. Sir, do you know the current exchange rate?
It's about 900 now.
900 and something.
You are asking somebody that is outside the country. It's weird that you react.
I mean, the last one I saw a few days ago was 800 and something.
No.
As I yesterday is 900. 900. Now, looking at this, I know some person will just jump in and say, no, you don't know your economics very well. Importation into the country is when your import is too much, it devalues your currency. Really? I want to tell you that what is presently happening in my own country might not be totally based on imported inflation, but it's partly because some numbers of persons are trying to gather money in preparation for election that is coming next year. And as a result of this, because the naira value is depreciating, they have started stockpiling again so that they can use it for electioneering campaign. That's one side. Then the other side is also the fact that the war that is going on in between Russia and Ukraine, whether we like it or not, has affected the whole world, including UK's economy and the economy of the Americans. So I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to be the only one talking. I just want to give us the background of this so that we can listen to each other. And if you want to join this conversation, kindly jump in. So, Dr. Ojo,
Let's know
over to
what's
you.
actually
Let's
happening.
let's
Is it that some persons are just behind this whole thing? What's
what's
their game plan? What's happening? That in fact, for you to get anything in Nigeria now, those in all everyone in each of the sectors, manufacturing, production, everything, it's so real, so hard for Satan, not for us.
okay?
Uh,
Greetings, Madam Claudia. Dr. Ojo, over to you.
Greetings,
yeah,
Jimba.
good evening, everybody. So it's very interesting, but there's a Yoruba adage or proverb that says that kokoro tó ń jẹ̀fọ́
Mm-hmm.
It is inside the
àrẹ̀fọ̀ ló
effort
wà.
itself.
So which means the insect or the pest that is killing the plant is
Hmm.
not 5 miles away or is not kilometers away. It's just around the plant.
Hmm.
So that cannot be overemphasized, and we cannot dismiss that fact that the problem of Nigeria or the problem of Africa, that Africans has part in it. So that's very, very true. And of course, there are other external factors that fascinated it, maybe that caused it or that are promoting it. No doubt about that. So, but it's because the people itself in the country allow it and promote it and encourage it and are not ready to do something about it.
Hmm.
So that's a fact. Now, when you talk about people piling up dollars in Nigeria and stuff like that, I mean, it's just becoming obvious. It's been a thing of such in a long time. And I know growing up from when I was little, we hear of Aboki. They are the one that does the currency exchange,
Yes.
and they have no education.
Hmm.
Majority of them never went to school, and they have so much of the hard currency that they determine the market price for it. It's until of recent that we start having some educated persons uh, involved in that trade. Even as I'm talking right now, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you guys are the one there in Nigeria. As I'm talking right now, I'm pretty sure if you go to Guaranteed Trust Bank, trying to exchange your dollar for naira, most of the time the bank we call the malam, the aboki, to come and do the transaction for you, especially if you want it at a good rate. So they are like part of the banking system, but they are not in the banking system. They are not employed, but they know how to get them and stuff like that. So why am I saying all of this is because it is a business for those that are involved in that business, and a very lucrative one. Now it's becoming obvious because we're in the information age, and also uh, is more profitable than ever before because we have more people in the business now that are even now more greedier than those that were the aboki that we are talking about. They are not as greedy as much compared to a lot of people that are in the business now. Now the politicians, it happens in everywhere in the world that every politicians always want to win an election. It doesn't matter what they will do, if they are going to break into the parliamentary, break into you know, into the electoral system, whatever they will do. We heard about the issue in the United States of them saying that Russia was employed to you know to hack the system or whatever, rig the election, which was very, very unbelievable and uncalled for because that's the father of they are the originator of democracy and stuff like that, right? But we heard about it, how they engineer it and stuff like that. So now, if it's happening in the developing countries, we know that it's definitely something that is common in other parts of the world about rigging an election and stuff like that. So politicians always want to win an election and they'll go to any length to win it, right? That's why you see people buying their votes, paying people to vote for them and the likes, and like that, right? It's common over there and it's open over there because of the level of education and the exposure of the people. It's done other part of the world. It's just done differently. It's just done differently. It's a perfected crime that is being done much better in other places that you will know, but you will not really be able to prove it because you will not really be able to see physically like it's being done there where they are sharing money and stuff like that, right? So, but it's done everywhere because politicians are the same all over the world, irrespective of what you think they want to win an election, and they will go and elect to do it. So it could be that they are weaponizing money as a means of promoting their candidate. And if dollar being a hard currency, if it's strong and they have their investment and their money and assets in dollars, so that definitely will give them an edge when the time comes for them to use the money, right? Because uh, it might be times three because it was like a few years during COVID, it was when it went up that everybody was like so surprised, right? And it went up to like 400, 500. So now that is like you're telling me it's 900 now,
It's almost
which is
1,000 now.
which a week ago it was 800. So within a week now it's 900. So if the politicians have their assets and money in dollars, then that gives them more returns because they can be able to do more with it now, right? So and also if some of them have their money in pound sterling and euro, now that euro is falling really bad, that's bad luck for them, right? Because then uh, it's gonna not be able to help them as they thought. So it's possible. We don't have facts to prove it yet, but it's possible they are weaponizing.
Okay. But let me quickly come in. The challenge we are facing, using Nigeria as a very good example here, is now becoming more complicated because I interview some businessmen. In short, one of them happens to be an importer of photography gadgets from China, and he was lamenting that they are not what they are doing presently is that they are not selling. He showed me conversation on WhatsApp that what they are doing presently, they are not in business, that nothing is going on, that they are just doing what we can call monetary trade-off. That once he buys, let's assume he buys this
Camera
camera
battery.
battery, as he's selling, thinking that he has gained maybe 100 naira,
Or $5.
or let's say $5, thinking that he has gained $5. By the time he's going back to order for the same thing, he is discovering that
The
the
battery
price or the cost of importing another set is now $7 or $9, meaning that he has to go and desave to add to the money of that battery to be able to import. So what they do now is whenever you get to any of their business center, any market now in Nigeria, do you know what they do? They I can tell you that price system has collapsed. As the point where we are in now, price system has collapsed. What they do is they will tell you, oh, welcome, you want to buy this, how much is it? They will tell
Oh
you,
my
wait.
gosh, I'm losing my.
Madam Claudia, you're welcome. We can hear you. So what they will say is they will tell you, hold on, let me
call
call, let me call the, if it's foreign goods, let me call the exporter. Let me call the
producers.
producer of this. How much is it now? Before they will now do a markup and give you the price. If it's a locally produced stuff, they have to call the market. Otherwise, that person will be out of business immediately. I've seen a situation, even normal food stuff. This particular woman sold, she sold a bag of rice, and she went back to go and bring in more orders. She discovered that she has already lost. Imagine someone losing like 50 $50. I'm just using it as an example. You are, from what you sold that you thought you made profit, by the time you are going back to the market, you have already made a loss of $50 on each bag of rice. And that one is why I'm using rice, is because it's very painful now, because the price of a bag of rice is now times two the price, if not times three, times two the price. And we have Christmas coming in. And you and I know that in this part of the world, in Africa, rice is a stable, as in, is a recurrent kind of food that the children must just continue to eat. There is serious famine in the land. Yet, these people that are holding this currency, maybe I wouldn't know, maybe they are not thinking, all right? They are not thinking straight, they are just so selfish. They are creating this, will I call it artificial scarcity, that is destabilizing the whole economy. If 1,000 Nigerian notes will be for $1, and people should not get it twisted. Don't think, oh, because Nigerian dollar has dropped now, Nigerian naira has dropped now, that the dollar will do, a dollar will do more here. No, because the prices of everything has now gone times three, not times two. Bread that they were selling 200 naira before is now 800, which is times four. Some bread that they are selling 250 is now 1,000, 1,001. How did you expect people? So, in other words, we are also going to, by the time we continue with this discussion, we are also going to see the safest means of investing now in Nigeria, because when there is a bad issue like this, when there is economic downtime like this, there is also those that will gain during this period. Those that will gain this during this period, they are those that are doing some calculative thinking now. And I tell you, after this economic bilabalu, there will be a new set of billionaires that will emerge. Okay, but before we get there, let's look at how the economy is being destabilized, because I see this as a war of currency between America, or the West, and Africa. And the African countries, I don't know what they are doing about it. But I discovered that there is a news, Nigerian CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, there is this news flying around. I don't know how true it could be, that they want to now, what's it called? Change the naira. Because you know why I'm saying, why I'm always skeptical when it comes to Nigerian news. Even a live stream, Nigerian government can tell you that it was Photoshop. So you have to be very, very careful. So with that, now Nigerian, what's it called? CBN is coming up to say, report has it that some news has it rather, that CBN is now saying that they need, welcome Jim, let me just finish this thought, that Nigeria, they want to change Nigerian currency. Why? Because they also discovered that so many people are packing this, not just the foreign currency now, they are packing these monies, Nigerian naira. They are storing it in septic tanks. They are storing it in different places. Ghana must go. Some we build houses. There is this particular one that was caught, built very nice structure, and all he filled the whole place with ACs. And what is living there? No human being is living there. It's just money, currencies in safes, in this under AC. are people not really, even if you are stealing, even if you are stealing this money, will it not be better you even use that your stolen wealth to create jobs for the people that you are stealing from? Instead of you stole the wealth of the nation, you packed it in a place and you are looking for the next opportunity to send it out of the country as if is a dry clean clothes. No wonder they call it money laundry. Okay, so with that being said, um, Jim, what's your take on this?
Well, you made a really good point about the devaluation of currency. And for me, I mean, if you look at what controls the economy, you have to have a big, strong military, and then you're going to need what we call like a, a bunch of people who are on Wall Street, the five, the big blue chips. Um, and what they do is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's fiat money that's printed. And I was hoping Dr. Ojo could, respond to the fiat side so people understand that the actual money that is being created can actually just be created out of thin air. So what we call devaluation is inflation. In other words, your bread, your housing, everything goes up. So it's it creates a pressure from but at the end somebody's getting rich, and so maybe I'll leave it with that. And once again, such an honor to be able to come onto your guys' show and to listen to Dr. Ojo and everybody that follows here. I'm just very happy that we get the chance to do this every week. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jim.
You're welcome.
And join me with my noodles.
Yeah, so um, we have currency anyway. Like you said, fiat is just a type of currency, right?
Yeah.
That's not backed up by anything, right? So if I, it's kind of interesting. So the world as a whole, we're not actually spending money. We are spending currencies. I know we call it
Okay.
money all over the world and so like that. Those are not money. Those are currency, right? According to Robert Kiyosaki, right? What some of us that understand this concept, which he also supported, called money, is not dollars, it's not pound sterling and yen and rupees and the likes of it. Those are not money. Those are currencies, right? So gold, silver, diamond, precious stones, those are money,
Yes.
right? And those are God's given money, right? That doesn't change over the years, millions and thousands, and it's going to remain the same, right? It's not going to change. The process of mining and processing them is not going to change. Of course, we can improve the process and make it simpler with machineries and other equipment, but you still have to go to the same steps, right? You have to mine them, you have to dig them, right? You know, like the crude oil, those are money, right? Land, those are money. Those are God's given money that He has given to us, right? And the digital assets of this generation is what Robert Kiyosaki called the people's money. All right, so
Okay.
those are money, not the US dollar and stuff like that. So I mean, like President Nixon said, when we actually started trading with US dollar, right? He said that the strength of a nation's currency is the strength of that nation's economy,
Yes.
right? That should tell you something about why naira is dropping, why uh, pound sterling, euro, why it's dropping, right? We can talk about the war going on in Ukraine and the likes of it. Of course, those have impact. They contribute to the strength or the weakness of their economy, or those could could have contributed to weakening the economy, right? But when the economy is not strong, your currency cannot be strong. So that's what's going on in Africa right there. That's what's going on in Nigeria, right? And when a nation depend largely on imported everything, to include what you eat, then your currency cannot be strong, because then you don't have no control. If I'm selling you the noodles you are eating, if I have family issues, like my wife demand for so much, allowances and stuff like that, I need more money. I just need to increase the cost of the indomie that I'm sending to you. Because so when you depend on other people, then you also depend on uh their prices. They set the prices for
Follow the
you.
inflation.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why the currency over there is not strong, because the people over there depend on other country, other nations, resources, goods and services and everything, until they have a rethink and start doing things differently. It's going to remain like that, and it's going to be difficult for them to rethink and for them to change, because the markets that they are patronizing for centuries, the market will not, they won't, those people behind the market will
Right.
not want to let you go. So they will
Right.
do everything possible to hold you down. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
And what's interesting about that is, so in other words, yes, there is this stock market thing, and it's a college of corporations. And basically, if you're saying that if that dollar fell, and if that dollar fell really bad, I mean, we're already seeing the, I mean, if people follow the bond market, I don't know if you follow it, or the repo market, but they're both absolutely inverted right now. And so there's a lot of stress in society right now, where the banking system has been fined for at least 30, 40 years. All these, you know, it get too big to be bailed out. All these excuses now are gone. And now it's time to, put up or shut up. And you're seeing a Fed now increasing rates, trying to avoid stagflation. And, I mean, you guys, I got to tell you right now, our food prices are going through the roof here too. Same, same thing. It's everywhere. I think everywhere. So basically, I think if you have a printing press and you create and you pump up, it's just the worst thing in the world. We have to have something stable. I don't know if Bitcoin's the right answer or not, but it sure seems like it's not. You can't have it taken away from you. I mean, simple as that. I'll leave it with that.
Okay.
So the thing is that from that 19 August of 1971, right, when the
Right.
the American
Gold standard.
government, right, when
Yeah.
they
He called it
switched,
speculation too, by the way. He said it was
when they
speculation. And now what do we got? The Glass Steagall got turned it off, and now we've got more speculation.
so when that was done, the world economy now depend on the US dollar, right? That's when things started going wrong,
Hmm.
right? Because before then, it
Why
was
is that
gold
muted?
and
Hello?
all this
Dr. Oji,
Yes,
let's
Madam.
quickly hear Madam
Madam
Claudia
Claudia
before
Data.
network takes her up. Madam
Okay.
Claudia.
Yes. Finally, I
Okay.
got my laptop working. Finally,
Wow.
I'm on my laptop now. I said
Wow, that's
I had
great.
an issue. I just installed a battery in mine. Couldn't get any sound.
Okay.
Yes, I couldn't get any sound. So I called my son.
We are listening.
Network.
But,
Wow.
but, but now it's working.
Wow.
Okay.
My
We are
son
so
is a
Congratulations.
happy.
teacher, so he has two laptops. I tell him, you give me one, lend me one of your laptop right now.
Oh,
He said, Mom, this one has better sound. I said, okay, this is gonna be my laptop. I'm gonna take it from you. But no, I could only borrow it because he needs it for his classroom, for the students in his classroom. But now
Oh, that's good.
I'm finished with the cell phone. I'm tired of using it.
Okay. So, Madam Claudia,
Yeah.
how stable is your currency over there?
Okay. Okay. Repeat that. The cell. Okay, my currency here.
Yes. How stable is it in comparison to the US dollar? Wow. I think okay. Dr. Ojo, you can continue. When the network gives her relief, we'll just hold on for her so that we can hear her. You know that the Caribbean has been prone to so many harsh weather against network. So
Yeah,
okay,
so
sir.
generally worldwide, nothing is stable right now, not even the US dollar. And like Jim said, right, even the United States, Europe, all over the world, the price of everything has been, has been skyrocketing over the years, right? When I got to the United States in 2010, I know how much I used to buy a box of pizza, good ones, good ones. If you are gonna get those days, then like $5, you get a very big, large size of pizza, right? If you are gonna get same size of pizza now with the same quality, you are talking about $40, $30.
40.
Yes, or
My
even
goodness.
$30. If
Jesus.
you are going to get the same quality and the same thing. That's within 2010 and now, about 10 years
Mm,
ago.
mm.
So that's to tell you inflation. So I always tell people around me, like, we don't really know because of the way the system is designed here. All right. We don't really know, but for some of us that pay close attention, we know that yes, things are actually not easy here. It's just like it will be better than some other place. And the reason is because the US dollar is really very, very strong. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's been strong since the end of World War Two, in the 1940s, right? And that was
Yeah.
why it was easier for the US government then in 1971 to flip the coin,
Mm.
around.
And you
And
know, it's funny. It's guess what happened right before that. Before that, he went over to China. Nixon went over to China uh, before he took us off the gold standard. So you guys got to look at this. Like, if they're going to make a chess move, well, they already know what they're going to do in advance. So what do? They need cheap labor. Will bring your economy out of suffrage. Will bring your economy up. I mean, they kind of did that same thing with Japan. Uh, to me, it's still a pure imperialist colonial mentality. It's all controlled fiat money, made up out of nowhere. But the Glass-Steagall Act, I did hear Claudia say she was trying to say something about it. So I was going to ask Dr. Ojo if he could follow up for Miss Claudia.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Dr. Ojo,
yes, I'm listening.
okay. With respect to this dollar thing that you just mentioned, you said US dollar is strong. But I'm asking this question. Euro, do you agree that euro is falling as well?
Yes, no. Yes,
Of course.
yes, no.
Euro is falling. Even British pound
Yeah,
is,
it's been so
is
devalued that you can't even imagine it.
okay. Now, euro is falling, British pound is falling, and all these are happening. They are becoming more pronounced around the period of this war. That's why I'm now asking: is America exception now? Is America exceptional? Because the side effect of this war, regardless of how much every countries in the Western world try to cover it up, that
Showing
war
in
is
their
affecting
currency.
every of their economy. So why is it that the American dollar is
Still
like
strong.
the almighty force here?
And is it that
And
their economy is not
and what's
affected?
it called? And there was
It's
this.
called the Federal Reserve. It's
Yes.
called the Fed. It's called the Federal Reserve, and they can do whatever they want. It's called a debt-based monetary system. There's your answer.
So that means there is a kind of human interface that is giving it
Yeah,
the
but
store of value. Not
So
okay.
okay.
this
Madam
is
Claudia.
this.
Yes. Okay. What happened? As I plugged in my laptop, it went dead. My son forgot to. He probably gave me in a rush and forgot to charge it. So when you asked me the
Okay.
question pertaining to my currency, so right now I'm
Yeah.
waiting a few minutes. I'm back on my cell phone again, but it
No.
could be in and out. But I'm waiting for my laptop to charge. Okay, here it is. It come up, but I'm on my phone. The
Okay.
question you asked is my currency here in the Virgin Islands.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay, we use US currency, strictly US currency. Whatever
Oh,
the
so you
United States use, we use because we are US territory. And
okay.
yeah,
And
we're US
and it's the same
territory,
value.
and the other Caribbean islands, huh? You know something? The other Caribbean islands, except in the British Virgin Islands, they use American currency. I don't know what
Okay.
agreement they had with England, with Great Britain and the Queen, where they allow them to only use U.S. currency. But what
Okay.
happened? The other Caribbean islands is the same thing. We have
Oh,
okay, my $1 they have to give me like for example Jamaica. I don't know how much Jamaica is now. It could be almost $100 to $1, and the other Caribbean islands like let me see. Well, I have Puerto Rico, which is a Spanish-speaking island. They are U.S. territories. They use U.S. currency. We use U.S. currency. So,
okay.
but other British Caribbean islands that are owned by Great Britain, they use their own currency. They call it the
Oh,
what do they call it? They call it the Eastern Caribbean currency, but their currency is so low. Like some of these countries, you have to get like $50 in their money to get $1. So, for
hmm.
instance, if I travel to a country, say like Trinidad or Jamaica, and I have $100, it's like maybe it could be like let me see, a couple $100 in their money.
Okay.
It's a foreign exchange, where
Okay.
the U.S. currency is high where I'm at compared to the other islands,
Okay.
because we are ruled by the U.S. Everything, where I'm living in the United States Virgin Islands, right? I'm
Oh,
3 hours away from the United States.
oh,
Okay.
And
okay. That.
we are ruled by what you call interior department. So the
Okay.
same laws that the US have, a lot of the laws we have to abide like we got voting, social security. Mr. Ojo, I'm speaking about the same thing
Of
in
course,
the
of
United
course.
States, because we are outlining countries like we have Guam, the US Virgin Islands, we have Puerto Rico, we have Hawaii, and the Mariana Islands. These are islands that are used by the U.S., that are owned by the United States of America. Have you ever been to any of the outlining islands? Puerto Rico, the VI, Guam? Mr. Ojo, you're in the military, so have you ever been to any one of the U.S. outlining islands?
I haven't. I'm actually trying now, see if I can get a placement to Virgin Island. So
No, we don't have a military. Well, we do have a National Guard military base here, a small one, but most of the military men, they have to go to the United States to be trained. They are not trained here, and then they return.
yeah,
But
yeah,
everything we do
except
is
for
US. We are
except
ruled.
for except for Hawaii.
Yes, yes. But everything we do, we are ruled under the United States government. As a matter of fact, the governor here, he has to follow orders from up there from Congress, the United States Congress. Can we have a representative in Congress in the United States who represents us in the White House? So all the laws and everything goes through and then come here. You know, like my social security and all of that, everything has to go up there and then come back down here, you know. It's the same thing for certain, not everything, because we are outside of the United States, we are not entitled to everything, you know. And even though we want to do certain agreement with other Caribbean islands, we still have to go to America to ask them permission. We cannot, the government here cannot do any kind of trade and agreement with other Caribbean islands unless they go to the United States and ask permission. You see, so we are still slave children of the, we are called slaves of the United States. We are also secondary class citizens. Yes, because
No, no,
Mr. Ojo.
ma'am. Madam Claudia.
Yes.
The way you said it is so funny. But somehow, do you know that most African countries too are still suffering from this uh, mentality that you have? Yours is just that it's so pronounced, but they are using our puppets here. They are using those people that are in government that can just do their biddings. They are still the ones controlling like everything going on, and that's why the dollar will always be strong because they have their own people at the back controlling everything. Despite the fact that their economic situation is falling, the dollar is not falling as their economic situation is falling. But here in Nigeria, any drop in all our economic activities like this, our currency is dropping so drastically.
But what
So
I
I
don't
think
understand, Mrs. Sacho, why I don't understand is this. These countries are independent. Nigeria is an independent country and other African countries are independent.
In quote.
And yet,
yes, I said in the mouth.
what
Thank
you said,
God,
what you
Dr.
said?
Joe said it. It's in just in the pronunciation, in quotes. It just said, but they are actually the ones still ruling this country. There is this such, Dr. Joe. I'm sure you saw. It's like you were the one that sent that stuff to our group. It's not even something we can share here on YouTube at all. It's not something we can share here on YouTube. Myself and my husband just said no, because we know their policies here. It's just in quotes. They are saying all these African countries are independent. It's in quotes. They are still the ones ruling. They don't want the African, when they see intelligent rulers in Africa, they tend to put them away. They tend to blackmail them. They tend to make sure that the citizenry are against them. They take them away so that they want those. Did you not see Macron and one African leader? I don't even know. That was almost. Sir, did you see that social media post? Macron was with one African leader. The African leader is paralyzed or so, and that person was still leading a country or something like that. I don't even know. My husband just showed me. So those are the kind of people they want. People that cannot act. People that will be going abroad for treatments and every other thing. They will just leave their country to make sure that it is the West that's still controlling it. And when they see the intelligent people that will take good governance very serious. They don't want them to be in power because they know that once they're in power, their own economy is going to suffer it, and that's just the truth. Hello, sir.
Yeah, is Madam Claudia still there?
She's not. The network has taken her away,
uh,
and we enjoy that touch.
yeah, so where's Mr. Setro?
he he had an urgent thing to attend to. He's coming back now in some few minutes.
Yeah, so the thing is, the reason why the US dollar, the reason why the US dollar is still strong, despite the inflation rate in America and the likes, is because the US dollar is the reserve currency of the world. Is the currency of trade. It's also the reserve currency of the world. So from when uh, President Nixon took us off the gold standard in the 1971, so the fiat currency was not backed by anything compared to when it was gold that was being used as the world reserve currency. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
And that was why in the beginning I was talking about gold and silver and diamond and all these precious stones being the real money that God created for mankind, right? In the sense that it doesn't matter where you are in the world, to get gold, you have to go through the same process. You got to mine it, right? It doesn't matter how rich you are, how poor you are. To get gold, you have to dig the ground. You got to mine it. So it's hard for anybody or any nation to manipulate gold.
Late.
It's either
Yes,
you
yes.
have it or you don't have it,
Oh, you don't.
right? So, but that was what was going on. That was the corruption that was going on then in the 1971. The entire world realized that America was just uh, printing more money than the gold that they have in reserve to back it up. Because at the end of the World War II, they had that economic uh, meeting summit, right? And every one of them agreed to use the US dollar as the world currency because that was the strongest at that time. Because the British, they fought so many wars and everything and the rest of it. So America was the one that was strong at that time, has the strongest economic at that time, and they decided to agree to use the US dollar as the currency of the world, but backed up with the gold system, which means every country that has their currency uh, reserved in the US dollar is backed by gold. So which means whenever they want to give the dollar back, they can actually get physical gold in return in exchange for their currency. But because of so many wars that the US was fighting and then printing so much dollars and stuff like that, spending all those money, everybody realized that they don't have enough gold compared to how much they are spending. So they were running deficit budget, deficit economy. But it's hard to catch
Confront them. Yes.
because they owns and they own the dollar and they have control of the dollar, no other person, right? So the
Yeah,
people
and what's really
started demanding for gold in exchange for their money, and there's not enough gold
Hmm.
to give to them,
yeah,
and that was why the coin was flipped
Hmm.
by the President Nixon in 1971, which he
because
gave.
because they could ensure trade, and this is what the military is doing. It's part of a what Kennedy said, a military industrial complex. This involves politicians. This involves economics. This involves, all of this. If you can't, if in other words, they can also shut off trade from other countries, like they did with the Jamaican sugar, like they did with the Banana Republic. Um, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the Ponzi scheme. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, so that was why he made that declaration and instructed the Secretary uh, of Treasury of the United States to suspend all conversion of US dollar to physical gold because they didn't have
Good.
enough gold and it was going to expose the whole secret. So it stopped them from exchanging all currency to gold has been demanded for, and then we switch from having a world economy, monetary system backed up by gold, now backed up by nothing except US dollar that can be printed in millions
Dollars.
and millions overall.
Hmm.
Now, now with the situation in Africa, right, especially Nigeria, right,
Yes.
it's just from frying pan to fire because now that they are trying to get out of the hand of the British, who has been ruling them for decades and centuries, now they are falling to another trap because if they uh, are now having so much of US dollar in their system and the naira is depreciating so badly, then that's going to really be another trap that they are going to fall into eventually if they are not careful because it's that one is not going to affect the America because it's actually going to help American economy because the more devalued every other currency is, the stronger the dollar will be.
Their
So that's
own,
why
yeah.
what Mr.
Mr. Ojo,
Castro was asking about, why is the US dollar becoming
Mrs.
stronger
Ojo, can you
despite
hear me?
the inflation and everything? It's because
Mrs. Ojo, can you
US
hear
dollar
me?
is the world reserve
Can
currency.
you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma,
Is
we
the world.
can.
Okay, okay.
Sorry,
I'm
Yes,
not.
go
sir.
ahead.
Madam Claudia wants to say
Yes,
something.
I'm back on. My laptop is charged now, so I'm back on.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
welcome, ma.
Yes, but yeah, I was asked to start, Mr. Ojo. I'm not cutting you off. I'm sorry. Hello, Mr. Ojo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Ojo.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go
Yes,
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I to cut you off. Oh, I cut you off.
You,
Okay. Yeah, Mr.
you are
Ojo, I
good.
was asking you about the independence. Okay, Nigeria is an independent country, right? They have. Okay, if they're independent country, why are they not allowed to control their currency, which is the money? You know, you're supposed to, but the money are not being controlled by the people or the government. Is continually, as you just said, devaluing, devaluing, devaluing. How can an independent country currency be devalued? Something is definitely wrong.
yes. Okay, sir, you want to answer her?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we are saying already. Uh, the government there, they are not really in charge of so much. They are not really in charge of. How can we even prove that there are no individual that are actually printing naira? Do they actually know how much of naira is in circulation? How much has been printed? How much is in circulation? Do they really know? Just like Mr. Chetro said, there are a lot of people that even have uh, large amount of naira in stock, in buildings,
Yes,
in tanks, and
yes,
the rest of it. So how can we even confirm if they even have control of the naira, right? That's probably the reason why they are contemplating on uh, uh,
you designing the naira,
producing another,
yes,
designing another one,
naira,
because they probably lost control of it, of what they already have in the system. So those are the problem, right? There's no market control. It's the people, individual, that determine the price of commodities and goods and services in the market. There's no government.
yes.
So when dollar goes up, they also increase the price of
They can increase
bread
it
and
times
rice
two.
and the rest of it. And that's the only reason why that would be the case, is because those goods and products are imported. But because government is also not in control of it, and there's no market control at all, even the one that they are producing locally, the price will also go up.
Yes, and they will tell you dollar rise, as in
You see what I'm saying? So they need to now start thinking on how they will be less reliant on the foreign economy and less reliant on imported food and products, especially the most important product that they use from day to day, and then less dependent on uh, price of uh, foreign exchange, especially when it doesn't affect the particular good and commodity. The foreign exchange should not be affecting price of products that are not imported or foreign produced. So it's a lot of work they have to do to actually gain control. Things are really falling apart, getting out of hand. So, but I said the foreign market that they've been patronizing, that they are trying to drop or
yes.
dumped or stop, is not an easy thing. They're gonna fight it. So they're gonna fight it. So we don't know why there's so much inflow of foreign currency into there, especially if the people there are not working and earning those currency, right? So that's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Okay, thank you so very much, sir. And that's just is like we're now tending towards the solution. Why we have this topic today is we cannot just continue like this. Maybe that God forbid that the dollar should now rise to $2,000, 2,000 naira to a dollar. So how will Nigeria continue? We should begin to look inwards. We should start consuming, producing things locally, and We know that our leaders for now may be the puppets of the Western leaders, but that's why we're trying to build a team of youths that can do things independently, youths that can be in the various sectors. Maybe those, like we had that guy that was doing what's it called, upholstery and furniture that we showed last week. We could have others that are in tiling. We could have others that are in agriculture, just like this guy that just left the foundation. We could have others that are in different sectors. So if we are really able to bring them up properly, and we really have our production made here such that nothing, maybe just a slight in the dollar or other currencies, will not be affecting us. So because majorly everything done here in Nigeria is like everything is imported, to the point of toothpick that could be done. And we have these natural resources, we have the wood, we have everything that we need to produce these things, but they still take them there and then import them back to us with their imported inflation. So I think what we should do now is, just because we may not be able to reach the government, as in reaching the government, we should start with ourselves, and we should start with showing positive energy, helping these youths out there to know what is really necessary for the nation now, and that is self-improvement. We working on ourselves, just like the youth program that we want to have in December. It's changing the world by changing me. So that's the caption of our youth seminar at the Cetrus Foundation. So we're thinking
Yep.
of, is this other youth now, like uh Dr. Joe, thank you so much, sir, for the money you sent for those guys that are doing production, hip hop production. So if you look, we listened to them yesterday. They were at the foundation. We listened to their lyrics, and the lyrics were making sense, just like what you said. They should talk about foundation. They were talking about their experiences. They're talking about all the bad things in hip hop and just like that. So by the time these ones are coming with meaningful lyrics, maybe they're in the music industry, and we take others that are in fashion industry, we take others that are in manufacturing, we take others that are in agriculture, we start training them. It's not just about complaining about this, because this set of governments, we should just leave them as the constants. In economics, we have X, you always leave a variable as constant. So we work with other variables that we can work with. Let's try to see how we can work on the lives of these youth. And that's why the Centros Foundation cannot do it alone. We want to say thank you to people like Dr. Joe, Jim, Madam Claudia, all those out there that have been helping us. So I think we just have to do more, focus more on these youths. Like those of them that came to the foundation yesterday now that were training, they are doing Zuaros. Those of them that are learning music, they came here to learn music, but right now we're teaching them photography, and they are learning it. So if they can create contents, you see multinational companies will be calling them, so they could travel outside the country. So our will not be a continent of just consumers, but will be value adders. We will add value to the world, and they will not just be seeing us like that. I think that's what we should look at, how we can help grow our youth, grow a community, grow a tribe of youths that will come up and change all this. So by the time they have their dollars stocked up, they have their dollar reserves, and we now have value, we have things we're creating. We don't need to go to them. Maybe those of us in the real estate now, we want to zinc everything that is used for production is from abroad, and the price hike is eating it so hard. By the time they can produce all those things locally here in Nigeria, you will see that we come begging for us, because we'll be building our houses, we'll not be looking at them, and things will be going on. So I just think we should look inwards and train these youths. We need more people to come on board. I want to say a big thank you to all that have been helping us before. We need more people to come on board to help us train these youths now. Let's diversify. Let's go into the various economic sectors and let things be done right. Just like
Yeah,
Yayo Z said that there is no nation in Africa that is independent. Then Madam Claudia that is asking her, we want to let you know this. Actually, that's the real thing. They are just, the independence is on the lips. They still control the activities from the underground, and they put people that they can control there. So that is just what is happening. But by the time we start from ourselves and we start changing, so this is the team, you can show it. So I
No,
spoke
continue.
about that thing. So by the time I start with changing myself, I want to change Africa now. I start by changing myself. I change my working ethics. I have real values for integrity. I have real value for timeline deliveries. I have real value for customer service. I have real value for being positive at what I do. And I come out with great results. I'll be able to affect the next youth, the next guy to me. The next guy will be able to affect the next guy. And before we know what is happening, we're going to change our tribe, our community. And once our communities change,
Wildfire.
Say wildfire.
so our state will be changed and our nation. So nobody will be able to control us with their foreign reserves, with their dollar reserves, with anything, because we will not be depending on them. We will look inwards, and our economy, African economy, has got all it needs or it takes to grow. We have the land, we have the resources, we have the what's it called? We have the wood, we have the gold, we have the diamonds, we have the precious stones, we have everything. But the challenge we have is just leaders, and it's imported challenge from those out there that but I want to say it categorically, we are getting out of this because we are having a generation of youths that are forward thinking now, and that's what we at the Centris Foundation are here for. So
Okay,
I just wanted to
on the basis of youth that are forward thinking,
Okay.
let me quickly state this, that presently, because we are not just here to be talking and talking, presently we are partnering with a company that will be building structures under
You guys
10.
are breaking out somehow.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay.
Yes, I
So
can hear you.
yeah, we are partnering with a youth, with a particular youth that set up a company. And what we are doing is that we are running a collaboration. We are going to be building houses, structures, as in ready to parking structures within 10
10 weeks.
weeks. 10 weeks. We are going to be building structures that people can park in. If you want structures for your businesses and the likes, I'm working on the video edit of what we've done. You will see sample of work that has been done already before, and I tell you, is a what's it called, a mind-blowing is a mind-blowing step in the right direction. When people are still waiting for 1 year or 2 years before they can assemble blocks and the likes to build their structure, we can provide you a 2-bedroom apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment ready for you to park in within just 10 weeks. So with that, we'll be able to what's it called?
Modular houses.
We'll be able to escape this issue of this useless imported inflation of dollar hike and Nigerian naira devaluation that is making a lot of people. If you go to a lot of sites now, majority of people that are building, they've stopped building. Why? Because what they envisage at the point of starting the building, the construction of their property, is not was different from what they are having now. They are now talking of times 3. Not what times 2 of what? They're talking of times 3, times 4. Because maybe when they started the construction, dollar was 400 and something. Now dollar is almost 1,000 naira. So how will you feel if we run an agreement, we run our plan with you? You can chat us up on this. We run our plan with you. You tell us what you want. You tell us the kind of structure you want. You tell us the location you want the house, whether it's for what's it called, whether it's for short-let services, whether it's for B&B, whether it's for your own personal stay when you come to Nigeria, or you want to rent it out. Rental is another thing that is making money in Nigeria now. And I tell you, choice locations like the Lekki, where you have good fine settlement and the likes, anywhere you want in Nigeria, we can provide you with that, and it will be delivered in just 10 weeks. 10 weeks. And these are modular houses. These are modular houses that when you see it, you will not know that these are modular houses. You'll be as in astonished. I can't wait to finish editing the videos of these, because those are what has been taking our time covering what's it
Show the
called, the
youth
making and the
better.
like. So then, with that being said, why am I mentioning this? By the time we begin to build houses, we begin to build structures for people, it is this youth that we have trained
Yes,
in carpentry
in
that
tiling,
will bring in. It is
in
youth that we have trained in
plumbing,
plumbing, in tiling,
so
that begin.
creating
So
jobs.
that's how we're going to be able to create jobs. And that's why this year, let me say this, that's why this year's theme, I know she mentioned it, changing Africa by what? Changing
Changing
me.
me.
Let me just run. Let me show you a little bit of what's it called? Um, our banner that was okay. So so this is the theme. I hope this stuff is not blocking. Okay, this is the theme for this year, changing Africa by what? Changing me. So what we intend to do in this is to bring these youths together on the 17th of December. We intend to bring these youths together during our annual conference to expose them to a whole lot of information. Like this last week, we took some youths to where we were covering all this building that I was telling you
Could
of.
you believe that
One of them has
I'd
never been on the
island
island. He has been in this country for donkey years. He has been in
19
this state.
years?
He's 19 years old. He has never been on the island. So when he got there, he saw the structures, he saw the houses. He was like, what? This place is. So those are the ways we can change the mindset of these youth. Take them, bring majority of them from different places, bring them into a place that they can see that, oh, there is actually a better world for me to try. And when we now bring in international speakers to talk to them on productivity, those that are doing tiling, they can hear people talk to them about how to be professional at it. Because I think one of the greatest challenge in Africa is
Yes.
that we are always looking for the West to tell us when to sit down, when to stand up. No, it is high time that we started doing what? Started teaching ourselves how to sit down, how to stand up, how to make sure that whatever we are using in production, in construction, we are the ones creating it from raw materials. Yeah, why should a country like Nigeria be experiencing monetary devaluation? A country like Nigeria, if Nigeria was properly tailored, by now we should be the richest, because there is war going on between Ukraine and Russia. By now, imagine that Nigeria was the one processing the oil that is being taken out of this country. We should be ones that America should be begging now, that they want to devalue their currency so that they can buy more oil from us, not the other way around. Do you know what happened during the Yom Kippur War, that the price of oil quadrupled? Why is it not happening now? When there is war, Nigeria that has no business with experiencing inflation. This we are experiencing it now because people have refused to do the right thing.
And
So
this Nigeria's inflation is transferred to all other African countries.
yes,
I
now
have a student in Cotonou or there. She said because they buy most of their things from Nigeria, that once the price of Nigeria dollar, of Nigeria naira falls, it also affects them, because everything about them too we just go the same way, and that's just it.
so in a nutshell, this program, this our annual youth conference that is coming up by September,
Eh?
by December
December.
17th. Do you know the gospel truth is that when I saw the price, the change in price, the cost of hosting this program, I almost said, "Are you sure we are going to hold this program?" Because the budget for food has doubled. The budget for so many things have doubled. But we can't leave these youths like that, because they also need to be impacted with double level of information to prepare them ahead of next year. Because I tell you, with the way the situation is going around the globe, we need to prepare ourselves to mark up our information, to mark up our preparation for what is coming ahead, so that we are not taking totally aground. So with that being said, I just want to say we appreciate everyone. I wouldn't know how much of conversation that has gone on because of the call I went to pick, but I appreciate every one of us. We should have it at the back of our mind that if we are talking about changing Africa and we are also looking at the United States and the dollar currency war, this battle can only be won if we do not keep quiet, if we do not just assume that things are going to change by doing nothing. And that's why we're already taking the bull by the horn. We are not just because
We want to start creating
we-
jobs for these
yes,
youths. We should not just leave them hanging like that. There was one, he's been coming to this foundation, and because of some challenges like that, he needed money. He wants to learn, but he also needs money. He started driving Mara. He had an accident. Before you know it so many things. So as they are learning, they still need a means of livelihood. So
yeah,
we just felt we can't just leave them like this. So let's try to see how we can be working with different businesses so that we can, and by the time we know good people on this platform, you are going to be helping us to loud it, because by the time we create this tribe, this community of youths, we have the diplomas there, we have the organizers there, for you, we have different things we want to do. We've grown a tribe, a community of youths that can do that. We are employing them. Before you know it, our economy will change. We'll even be the one exporting to the African world. We have those that can make different dresses and all the likes. So I believe you're going to help us, as in we have already started the marketing now, and we also show you some real estate properties we have. We have some ones that are already ready.
yeah.
4 bedroom detached duplexes, 4 bedroom terrace duplexes at a very good estate right here in at
Lucky.
Lekki Phase 1,
Yeah.
very close to Royal Admiralty Way. So it's a good
For
one.
those of you that are not conversant with Nigeria,
It's
in
a
short,
very safe place.
this particular place that I mentioned is the best place in what's it called, in Lekki. That's where you have the concentration of the rich guys in Nigeria, in Lagos specifically. That's where it's close to the beach and to numerous beaches and the likes.
When the
So
video comes out, you
when
should
the video should be out
very
so very
soon.
soon. So once the video is out, we'll let you know that this is what we are talking about.
Doing, and you could
Because
just help us tell somebody you wouldn't know. It's not that you want to come and live in Nigeria, but the investment
you
in
can
Nigeria
invest.
can really be a very great one that will change the entire story of your life. So you could invest if you don't have the whole money for the property, you could invest some portion and you'll be getting return on your investment. But we're just looking for means of not just being talkers. We want to be people that are doing what we're saying. We want to really make sure that we really impact this youth. And you agree, if we don't have resources at our disposal, there's no way we can impact them. If it's the bad people that have these resources, they'll just invite them over, say, take this bomb, take this thing, do this, and that's what they will do. But if it's the good people that have the resources, they'll be able to say, okay, this is the way, train yourself well. These are the good working ethics. This is how you should train up your life. And they will be so pleased. We are pleading for everyone that has been helping us on this platform. We're going to send in the videos as soon as they are out. So you could know anybody that wants to invest in Nigeria. It's not until you come here. And these are secured estates, fully secured estates, and they have C of O's, they have every document you need. And those houses, I'm sure when you see them, you really be wild. And the other modular houses that we're building too. So that's just it. I think.
You think you are done? Okay, Dr. Joe.
No, we have to. That is not just for us to discuss about these things, but it's for us to prefer solutions.
Solutions.
And we should just be out of it, because if we keep saying it till eternity, they will still be having their dollar reserves and they will still be controlling our economy. But by the time we start creating things, we are creatives, we are producers, we are not just consumers, they will not be able to control us.
Okay, so with that being said, I think I can hear Madam Claudia. I can hear you from the background. Are you saying something? Okay, I want to share this with us. I want to share a video of such construction. Dr. Ojo, do you know what they call modular houses?
Uh, what you guys call it then?
Okay. Modular
Modular houses,
houses
houses that are built
that
out
are
of
built out of
with
with
containers.
containers.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so that's what we are talking about. I want to quickly, what's it called? Just share
Do
my
they use
screen.
the real container or they just use a metal
The
sheet?
Sheets.
real
What
container,
of that? You don't have that.
the real
Definition.
container.
Yes, Mr. Secretary, about that container is, as a matter of fact, is getting
Yeah, for over here we
really
have mobile homes. We have
Yes.
mobile homes.
yeah, yeah.
Some of them are made with like container like that, but they have wheels and you can move them around.
Yes.
So something like that. We what we call them mobile homes here. If it's mobile, if it's what you can move around.
Okay.
But they are like container like kind of stuff like that, designed such.
Okay, so that means you understand what I'm talking about. Let me just share my screen. Let me share my screen with us so that to just prep our mind down so that we see sample of what has been constructed. Okay, Dr. Ojo, can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah, I see.
Okay, so let me this okay. This one was this was a plan. This was even done for a petrol station. This was constructed for a petrol station in the country, in Lagos here. There's this particular one I want to share. Okay, let's look at this. This one was constructed and this is the design.
Yes.
This is the design made from container by an African youth.
Yes.
Made of container. This is the plan.
So where is the
So
actual?
let me show you the actual that was delivered.
Oh my gosh.
So the actual that was delivered is this. So, but what's it called? As at when this picture was taken, they are not yet done
With the interior.
with the interior, with the flooring and the likes. So I believe, see,
Mr. Mr. Satchel, how much does one of these houses cost? Tell me.
you,
Ma, we're going to communicate that to you, and we're going to do
I'm going to communicate that to you, and I'll give you
Yes.
what's it called?
various
I'll
variations.
give you various variation, like a 2-bedroom
Yes,
apartment, one bedroom
Bedroom
apartment,
apartment,
was it 3-bedroom apartment? If you want
terrace
duplexes
duplexes.
and the likes. So,
Okay.
and the location where this is that they rent the rental for what's it called, for this apartment there is in millions of naira.
Yes.
So you can
Instead
of you saying you are using bricks and blocks and what have you, that you have to stay for large number of maybe 1 or 2 years or even 3 years. This one,
use 10
10
weeks
weeks, within 10 weeks
to be delivered.
the stuff is delivered to you, to the location, the land, and as such you start earning from your investment on time, so you gain time and the like. So those are the, because I'm just like, we can't just be talking of we want to change the narrative when we ourselves, we are not moving.
Temi said
Oh,
America
call
called
it
it.
trailer
Yeah, trailer
trailer
home. That's what I mean. Mobile home. We call them mobile.
Okay.
They made it mobile here.
Oh,
So
Yes.
trailer homes or something like that. My question with my question is that in terms of the cost, are these more cheaper to construct than using the normal bricks and stuff like that? I know the bricks you wait long time because you gotta wait for the foundation to dry. You gotta
Yes,
hold the
yes.
bricks. But this is a matter. As long as you have all the material, you can keep working day and night. This is done. But aside
Good.
from that, is it cheaper at the end of the day compared to using bricks?
At the end of the day is where I'm starting from. At the end of the day, it becomes cheaper because for your brick homes, maybe you have
How much?
speculated that you are going to
20,
spend
50
20
million.
20 million, or let's say 20 million. I want to spend 20 million naira to set up this house. By the time you start, you are sure you can't finish it in 3 months, you can't finish it in 6 months. By the time you are the number of time it takes you to build the normal block house, inflation would have set in and the likes. Look at so many people that have started when dollar was, especially in this part of the world, that every of our life is dictated by this dollar. Those that started several months ago, even those that started last year,
Last.
now dollar is at almost 1,000. Majority of those houses,
They
they are
can't come.
shut down now, they can't complete. Complete it. So this will give you a better
Fast.
a better what's it called, a better cost. Your cost will be minimal compared to somebody that is using several years to build a particular facility. Then the other aspect is that, since this is a modular house and everything is
Call it
fast
what they call
fast
it so that
cons-
they
and
understand.
the trailer houses or what have you. But I will share some videos with you that you will not even, because the way this one will be constructed, I know trailer houses. This is not just trailer houses. This one will look like a complete, it will look
It's
like
not, it will look at
it
it
will look
is.
Mm-mm. What I'm saying is that there will be nothing like trailer to be envisaged on the house. It will be a proper look and feel of a house, and it is going to be delivered to you faster. And because it's going to be delivered to you faster, it comes at a premium cost that, if you look at it in the long run, is far
Spiritual.
cheaper than the block houses. And if
The return on your
what will it
investment.
take me if which will you prefer? If I'm to spend 50 million naira on a project and I start earning
In 10 weeks. Which one?
income in 2 years, if I have to wait for 2 years before I start earning income, and I have another one that I will spend 50 million naira, and in 6 weeks, 10 weeks, I start earning return, you discover that within that what's it called 10 weeks that I've started earning return, I will my return on investment will be far far better than someone that is still waiting for the decking to dry, for the this thing. By the time you are still waiting for your decking to dry, I've already completed a duplex, and people have already packed in. As we speak now, we have 48 units. We have 48 unit apartment that has been handed over to us to get in what's it called, investors for, that will come and buy the houses and the likes. We have lands that some persons have entrusted to us that, okay, if we can get people that want these modular houses on it, we can set it up for them. So it's just any good businessman, we know that your return on investment, how quick you start having your return on investment, it makes more sense than waiting for a longer period of time. Okay, Dr. Ojo, did I answer your question?
Yeah, those are good initiative, and like the youth, if they're able to learn how to do that and are able to start doing that, it help equip them with valuable skills like we are talking about, because they need to have valuable skills that can help them sustain themselves and not necessarily depending on anything. And then the individual and household need to start thinking how they can be able to mitigate against the hike of dollar that is affecting everything in the market. Um, it's like that everywhere, like I said. Even when I look, when we can also do our research. When I did the research and look at the rate at which the pound sterling has depreciated. 37 years low that they are experiencing right now. Far back in 2010, it used to be about 1.5 to US dollar exchange rate, all right? And a long time ago, about in the 50s, about in 1957, it used to be about 2.86 to dollar, but right now it's 1.005 to dollar exchange rate. So about 15% depreciation that they are going through right now, which is like the worst in the past 30, in the past how many years? 37 years or so, right? That's the 37-year low that they are experiencing right now. So it's everything is affecting everybody too, and the reason is because US dollar is the world reserve currency. So if anything happens to the United States dollars, it's going to affect everybody in the world. Just like you guys are also experiencing now that when the market and the economy of Nigeria is affected, other African countries suffers it. So it's a system, and the politicians and some of these corporations and these people that are in charge, they know all of these things, and they have a way of weaponizing it, right? Is the reason why the Saudis and some of these oil producing nations are now looking at ways to go around their business without going through the dollar system and the rest of it. There's a wake up call that's going on around. Is the reason why the digital currency is gaining acceptance worldwide, because it's another alternate way of not going through some other system that is affecting them. So we can talk about this for as long as we want to, but it's something that's affecting everybody. But there are other ways of going about it. Like me personally, now I know that when you buy your food material and do your own cooking, it's cheaper than when you go eat out and all of those every time. It's like 10 times cheaper, because what I can use to eat out in a day, I can actually use it to go to the market and buy stuff that will last me for 2 weeks. So everybody just have to like think, use their brain, and that's why I always talk about the God factor of using our brain as to just depending on praying and expecting some magic and miracle to happen. Those miracle and magic that we expect to happen, God has given it to us when we use our brain. We use our brain to create or to invent or to innovate those miracles that we're expecting. You see what I'm saying? So why am I saying this is that those innovation of doing those construction, those trailer home, those modular homes, which we call mobile homes and trailer homes in this part of the world, it exists here too. It exists here too. You see what I'm saying? If those are helping and are cheaper and more economical, had more values, then it's good. The youth should be learning all of those and should start doing those. There's nothing stopping each household, each individual to go learn how to make bread and
Yeah.
learn how to plan the material and the product and the stuff that can help make day-to-day survival easy for the individual. So those the dollar price won't affect those. You see what I'm saying? The dollar price won't affect someone that plants his maize and God showering rain on it. The dollar price won't affect that. You see what I'm saying? So when those little stuff are taken care of with other development that are helping individual, then that's how to make the whole place a better place over time. Because they are in a lot of mess, like not just Nigeria as a nation. The whole entire world is in a kind of difficult time right now. And as long as we keep, depending on the system that we have been depending on, when the system
Is
is
there
affected, it's going to affect everybody. No doubt about it.
is there
So
a,
that's it.
is there a policy that you know of that's funding austerity across the globe? I mean, do you know, is it more than just an economical dollar situation, or is there more of an austerity program going on?
Well, I don't know if it's a program or if it's a if it's being fuel and whatever. But we definitely know that politicians always find a way to achieve their goals and purpose, and that's what's affecting the whole globe. Because my question is, I mean, it may not make sense to a lot of us, but like, why fighting unnecessary war that is going to affect a whole lot of other people if the war is preventable? You see what I'm saying? And then why spending billions of dollars in a war that probably is not even necessarily needed to be fought in the first place? Those kind of money could have been used to develop infrastructures and empower our countries and even help the developing nations of the world. You see what I'm saying? So, but the world rulership has a way they do their things. They understand the way they do their things, and when the things go wrong, we all suffer it. So those are the questions that should be asked. But regardless of that, individual has to use their brain. You see what I'm saying? The fiat currency, the fiat system, which is the currency system, is not helping us. It's for the politicians, whether we like it or not. It's for the politicians. So we have to use our brain to create our own money. We have to
So
use, individual has to use their brain to create their own money, or create your own currency as well. Whether you call it fiat or whatever, you have to use your brain to create yours by yourself, for yourself and for your household. That's where it's getting to right now, because depending on any just like we don't take permission to do some things personally for ourselves, so we shouldn't have to wait for any permission to solve some of our problems. That's kind of how I'm gonna put it. Yeah.
okay, so true. Thank you, sir. Madam Claudia, Madam Claudia. Okay, I don't think
Yes,
she's
yes, 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 Mrs. Thatcher, I'm here, I'm here.
okay. I want your closing remark.
Okay, the car in the US. Oh, Mr. Seto,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
saw that trail. I'm so impressed. I wanted to talk about that. That's been on my mind. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Oh, because I know I saw those trailers on the island here, and these guys are fixing them. But hey, these trailers looks like what I should say, like I would say hotels. Like beautiful, very beautiful. Because the ones that I'm seeing that they're charging 60,000 US, all you're getting is just a little crampy bathroom, and I mean it's nothing. I mean, when I saw that, I was so amazed. I said, "Oh my gosh,
We're still going to
You,
show
these
you
you,
trailers
lots.
that they're fixing in this where I'm at and selling these a little crampy bathroom, and I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing. But when it is so beautiful. It looks like
thank,
like
thank you,
palace. I should say a palace. Very beautiful. And I
thank you
know
so
when you
much.
convert it, it's not the same. It's not the same in our currency. I know
Yes,
it's much cheaper compared to
it's
what you
very
have here.
cheaper. It's going to
It's
be much.
60 US.
It's going to be more cheaper, and that's why what's it called? Foreign investors are going to benefit much in this case, and you Africans that are in diaspora, whatever country, it's time to plunge in into this, to invest in Nigeria, invest in Africa, because I tell you the returns that is coming in from this is massive, is mind blowing. And
Yes.
when you now have a kind of investment that you invest, and in 10 weeks the structure is ready for people to pack in, because in Nigeria alone they have over as 17.1 million naira and
17.1
2.1
million
million
housing
housing
deficit.
deficit in
Yes.
Nigeria.
What?
17.1 million housing deficit. So
Ooh.
there is problem of housing. So anybody that is what's it called, investing in houses, in building, they are making money. The landlords are making money in Nigeria like anything. So it's high time for those in diaspora to benefit from this. But watch out, as very soon, once I'm done with the videos, I'll bring it up and I'll share. And I'll also reach out to you, Madam Claudia, with respect to these different ones and their prices, so that we can show you that. And we appreciate every one of us for staying true. Tonight is a long one. We thank you so very much. And okay,
Madam Claudia is saying something.
are you talking to me?
Yes,
Okay,
we in Nigeria. We use in Nigeria.
I can't hear you.
Can you
Oh,
hear me now?
a little bit. Can you come
Hello?
closer? Yes, yes,
Okay. Are they used in Nigeria building these trailer houses?
yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That is great. Wow. That is so great. Well, I will
So
conclude. I wouldn't keep you any longer. Nice talking to you, Mr. Setro.
Thank you so very
And
thank you
much.
so
everyone,
very
Dr. Ojo, nice talking to you. Hope to see you next week. Jim,
Thank you,
nice
ma'am.
talking to you. Nice to
Thank
see
you,
you next
guys.
week. Okay, it's time for
Thank you
Central
so
to go.
very
What time
much,
is it in
everyone.
Nigeria? What time is it in Nigeria?
um um
What's
14 past 11
11
p.m.
p.m.?
Okay, we are like 4 hours behind.
Okay, okay. And
Okay.
just a take home for all of us. Um,
Yes, exactly 4 hours. Yes, correct. Yes.
okay. One of the youths that we have been training for some time now. Uh, as at yesterday, we spoke with the parents, and we decided to employ the youth in our foundation
While we're still training.
while we are still training him, because his own condition was very, very severe. In short, their building was demolished, where they are living was demolished, and
Why?
it was they were living in shanties, these shanties. So the owner of the land just came. He wants to start building. So all the people living on that shanties, they were displaced. So we saw that we cannot continue to wait until the young man is experienced in what we are training him. So we decided to employ him at the foundation, so that while we continue to train him, we can we
3
can be
months.
giving him salary. So we have given him 3 month probation for him to prove himself that he's worthy of the help that the foundation is giving to him, so that he can perfect his skill. So, and
So
I
what
think that
is he going to be doing for the foundation? What's his
he
area of specialty?
he is learning photography and videography. So coming in here is going to be
He's also one of those that
he's
sang
one
that
of those
song.
that
Oh.
sang that
Is it
song.
what's his name?
Hope,
Hope,
Say that again.
Hope,
hope.
Hope,
Oh,
the
it's not the
fair one.
other little boy.
He's the little boy, the fair boy.
No, no, no. I thought there's this boy. There's this other one that was doing photography before.
Michael.
Michael has
Ah,
gone to
Michael.
school. Michael
Michael
has
has
gone
gone
to
to
school.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Higher institution
yes.
to college.
He's writing, what's it called? There is this thing that they do here. They will first of all go and prepare for entrance exam into the university.
Oh, okay.
That's what he has gone for now. So
Okay,
when he
okay,
now writes the exam and pass, he will enter into the higher institution.
okay, okay. I thought
Yes.
it was Michael.
No, 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 no. This
Okay,
this is a new this is a new boy. So,
okay.
and also the when he was done with his high school, Shebi's high school, they call secondary school over there.
Yes.
When he was
Yeah.
done with high school, we asked him if he has gotten his certificate. Do you know that because of 5,000 naira, this one has not collected his certificate? So we also step in that area to assist in the payment of that money so that he can collect his certificate. So within the week, let's see how it turns out. We should be able to see what we can do so that the boy can collect his high school certificate while he resumes work here. So this is just an update on what we've been able to do for this young chap. So you might be seeing his face more. And Dr. Ojo, they really appreciate the support you gave them.
The
Um,
musicians?
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
they really appreciate it so much. And even till last night, they were here to give us improved demo of their
So when they're
this thing.
perfected,
So I
they are
said
going to
when they
studio.
are 105% perfect, we'll just take them to the studio because no thanks to inflation. The money you sent was almost exactly how much they needed for the audio
Studio then, we don't
audio
know.
studio this thing.
We don't
Yes,
know the
Okay.
price.
the
Now that
studio.
the price is gone up, hopefully they get more for it.
Yes, yes. So because the studio stuff was for
40,000
40,000
then.
then,
But we don't know
but
the current price.
wait,
Oh yeah, that's true.
when you
And you
send
got to monetize it on the Rumble channel, folks. And don't
okay,
forget, and don't forget about the Setro Foundation link. Put it up in the chat there.
okay, okay. What's it called? So okay, so when you sent in that money for them, by the time we change it, it was 39,000 naira. So meaning that is very, very okay for their studio work. I just
Okay.
want them to, I pray they perfect it on time so that they can go to studio and wax that single out. So we really
Okay.
appreciate you. We appreciate everyone. Please, if you are seeing this video and you want to support the Cetros Foundation, kindly kindly see our what's it called? Where's the GoFundMe? Kindly see our GoFundMe link here. Whatever you can do to support the Citrus Foundation, we appreciate you. And Shay Jim, please, Shay parting words. Jim, have you given us your parting words? You are on mute. We can't hear you.
So sorry about that.
Okay.
I am a Patreon of $15 a month. I've been donating to the Setros Foundation for quite a while now. You know, it's such a, currency wise, as the topic today goes, that $15 I know goes the longest anywhere that I could ever put $15 into. So it's once again something like with the overall topic of the situation, printing money, control of the politicians, and things like this. It just seems like the people need to do exactly what Joe K was saying. You're gonna have to vote with your dollar. So with that, just go to Rumble. Let's try to get to 100 people, and so we can live stream over there, because Joe K said she didn't want to talk about certain things on YouTube. Well, that's where we can do it. I mean, why not? That's what it's there for. So thanks again. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Dr. Ojo. Your words of wisdom once again resonated really nicely. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you so very much. So from all of us here in Nigeria, from Africa, want to say thank you so very much.
Thank you,
Open
sir.
your fridge and drink a cup of cold coffee.
Thank you guys. Thank
Thank
you.
All
you,
right,
sir.
sir.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Okay, stick around
Good
at
night,
the end when
everyone.
bye, Miss Claudia.
Okay,
Don't
good
don't
night.
hang up. Don't hang
Good
up.
night.
Yeah, I wanna.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, go private with this for a second.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Go private.
I'm coming. Let me go private.